Yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome to podcast number 9 of the Caouette Circus. How has everyone's week been so far?
Very good.
Good.
Yeah,
I
I
think
see.
Matt has a lot to report on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Max, it looks like you're in South Windsor right now. Anything to update?
Yeah, I just made it back home. I'm on spring break now. Like, thankfully, it's nice to be able to unplug and unwind for a week in the middle of hectic college right now because this past week I had two exams on Wednesday and then I had one on Thursday. And it was tough because the one on Wednesday there was one at 12:20 and there was one at 3:30 and that went to like 4:45 and then I'm like I just got tonight in the morning to study for my last exam, so I'm
Mhm.
just cramming for that one that's at 11 a.m. so it doesn't lend me a lot of time in the morning to do anything. and,
Dang.
and then I took a big nap after that exam because I didn't get a lot of sleep that night, and then I booked it home Thursday, and then Friday I had to write a 7 to 8 page rough draft for my honors thesis, so that was a lot of fun.
Wow, that sounds pretty intense.
Yeah.
I have an update. I've been trying to tell Johnny he should buy a nice pair of new shoes. And he went and actually bought the shoes.
And we
Finally.
see
Oh yeah.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
nice.
now.
That's funny.
I went hiking yesterday. Well, hiking is not really. It was more of like a very slow walk.
Yeah.
I did some nature journaling. I'm gonna have to teach my staff how to do that. So I figured it'll be good to have an example of what that could look like. I for work, I do have some staff members coming in tomorrow. So training starts Monday. That's 3 weeks long. So, and I'm taking the lead on it. So
You locked in? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Oh yeah.
Is everybody else ready? I don't know. I've been I've been poking them as much as I can. So,
That's good.
what about you, Dad?
Well, actually, we didn't have a podcast last week, so I can apologize about that. We're too busy. But first of all, I got the hockey jerseys in the back for me here. NASCAR 2010 elite team on the playoff today in the semifinal at 2:30 in the Bog. So Lynn and I and Xavier are gonna go. So the big playoff. We win the final tomorrow at the Bruins practice facility tomorrow afternoon.
Actually,
Yes. So hopefully, and Max played there before. So you've been there, Xavier. So that's
Yeah,
the
I
big
know.
thing. Also, on Monday, I had to go pick up my mom. I was supposed to pick her up at Albany, New York. Ended up all the way to Rochester, New York.
Say why.
Pick her up.
Explain.
Yeah,
Explain.
well, I don't want. Yeah. So what happened? My uncle's car, one of the pad on the brake broke, and it was in the tire, and it was a lot of smoke. So they had to stop on the side of the highway. So my mom called me, said you need to drive all the way to Rochester now. So damn. So I drove all the way to Rochester, pick her up. She said, "I'll do anything you want. Anything you want to go, whatever you want to go." I said, "Well, I'm gonna go back home." So we came back here. So that was like an 8 hour drive. And the next day I drove her to Sherbrooke to her car in Canada, and I came back. So that was Monday and Tuesday. So I looked like a truck driver. So that was like a hectic, I was tired, even though I was just driving around.
You get
I was
paid per
very
mile?
tired.
You get paid per mile?
Yeah, But actually, I almost did 1,300 miles in 2 days.
Crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. And also, one more thing. My knee, I'm going on Monday. I'm going to see a different doctor, doctor who's stem cell. So I have an appointment Monday for that. So I'm trying to fix my knee and see how it goes. That's the thing is, I don't think my insurance covering that, so I have to pay in advance, and we'll see how it goes. So that's where I am right now, doing good. Lost 5 pounds because Lynn's on a diet. So I decided just cut on junk food, and in like 3 days lost 5 pounds. So
You know
I
what you
ate. I saw that. I saw that.
Yeah, do you know what you should do?
What?
You should just like jump off the top of the stairs and screw up your knees, then the insurance will cover it.
No, don't wait to say that. That's what I want to do. I'll go across the street with my neighbors and I'll do that.
And then you sue them because
And
it's
sue them too.
Joking.
We're just kidding here. I'm not. So go
Xavier.
mascot.
Yeah, Xavier, how are you doing?
Good. On Wednesday, I'm getting a new cast on. Then I'll be recovered in 2 to 3 weeks.
Nice.
So Xavier's cast is all the way high, you know what I'm saying? And
Still have-
above the knee, like almost to the butt, you could say. And now it's going to be below the knee. But now we don't know. It's going to be maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I don't know if it's a boot, but at least we're going to be able to move his knee now. So it's almost like a rehab at the beginning, you know what I mean? So
And
that's
he'll be able to walk
encouraging.
whatever function it's in, whether it's a boot or a cast, he'll be able to walk on it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's great. So
well, he was
But-
already scootering on it, so
Xavier, did you
Yeah.
take a report card into your room? I was going to read that section.
No,
Where is it?
it's still where you put it.
but
In-
Xavier, but I didn't know that he went to see Max and he asked Max.
Let me read this
No.
first.
Okay.
So Xavier got his report card yesterday. I just have to read the paragraph from his teacher. Xavier has been working incredibly hard in all subject areas. He is always the first to be finished, but upon checking his work, he puts in great effort to ensure the quality of his work is admirable. He has navigated the hurdle of having a broken limb beautifully. What an incredibly great sport he's been. He is also rising as a leader in navigating challenging relationships. I am proud of his successes. Bravo, Xavier.
we're
job,
the
Xavier.
balloons. We're the balloons.
I know.
Oh,
I mean,
there's
the other,
one in the living room.
that's right.
Wait, one sec.
Miss Green, I want to talk about the balloon. The Green family bought like what's the edible arrangement, like fruit and stuff like that. And there was a balloon that was on like January 23rd, we'll say, right? And that balloon is still on. It's in it's on the ceiling, it's still up. So he's got it in his hand. So we got that balloon since, and it's still out there. So that's awesome. But what I want to talk about is because
So when I
Xavier
came-
went.
when I came home last night, it was Xavier and I. Right away, he took out this notepad and he started practicing math. And I'm like, what is he doing? It's like Friday night, 8 o'clock. He's doing math problems. So he's going to TE next year into the middle school. And there's going to be some kind of evaluation. So he wants to score as high as possible in the math classes. To the point that he took out the notebook and he started showing me algebra that he was doing. I'm like, what? He said, oh, yeah. I asked Max last week to show me how to do algebra. So I didn't even know that was happening, but Max, you can fill in what you know about it.
Well, I mean, he just came to me like last weekend and he was like, how do I do algebra? It's so hard. I don't know how to do it. Like when I try to answer the questions, I just do guess and check and then I usually get the right answer. I'm like, dude, like it's much more simpler than guessing and checking it. It's just adding, subtracting, dividing, and multiplying. That's all you have to do. You just have to isolate like X by itself and then get your answer. So I mean, I was setting up some problems where like it was pretty easy to get the right answer at the end because you don't want to do like friggin' like 1,500 divided by like 4, and then he's like, I don't know what this comes out to, but I tried to set it up so it'd be easy for him, and then I did some with fractions so that he'd have
Those
to
are the easiest.
think a little bit harder.
Good. I was impressed.
That's awesome.
Xavier, lift up your hand.
We got a new accountant coming up.
What?
You got a new accountant coming.
Yeah, right.
That's what I said to Lynn. I said all their kids were good in math. Even Zoe was good, so she could be an accountant. But this she didn't go that way. But I could see Xavier going that way. I was like, oh my goodness.
She's a cat in the trees.
Yeah, that's right.
I guess.
That's
Mom, how
funny.
was your week?
All right.
My week was good, but I'd like to reverse it back to last weekend. I know we were really busy. We could actually not find a time to coordinate all of our schedules, but where I work, we celebrated our 50th anniversary of the company. I was in charge of basically coordinating the party with a team of people. And it was so much fun. I got into work on Monday and I heard nothing but really great reviews from all the employees that came out. Band was awesome. We had some specialty entertainers, greeters, magicians. Overall, just really a great time. So I believe to pull that off well.
That was fun.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And this week I went to the Bushel and saw the Share show, which was really great as well.
Sweet.
John Cougar on Wednesday.
That's right.
And Dan danced up a storm, dude.
Oh, and I felt it the next day. My knees were, oh my God. I could barely walk the next day. I said, oh my God. It was bad. Jumping. If you remember, I was jumping. I said, dude, I can't do it. I can't do it. When I got the next day, I couldn't do nothing.
Actually, dancer, I'm surprised.
It was fun. Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun
All those
time.
classes I took when I was 3 years old.
Yeah.
Kids though.
You
Well,
did
it sounds
awesome.
like-
Everybody did that fun. So it was a good time.
Sounds like, oh my goodness.
Good.
What?
It sounds like Dad was getting prepared for Montreal through practicing some of his dance moves.
You could see me walking around. I just kept hitting the terrace apple.
Well, this
I can attest to that. I was doing it. Everybody was like, Keith comes up to me and I was doing that stupid dance right next to my dad. He's like, is this something you guys do? It's like a family thing. I'm like, nah, dude, I'm just making fun of him for how he dances. It's like, oh, okay. He thought I was crazy. I was like, damn, sorry.
That's funny.
Well, this week we are going to be doing a little bit more about the Montreal trip, not necessarily talking about the trip and its legacy, but talking about some specific moments that stand out from the let's say around 25 years that you two have been hosting it. So is there one person whose story is burning so deeply that they want to go first?
Which one you want to start with, Lynn? Want to
I know.
start?
There's a lot.
Yeah.
We'll pick one.
I'll pass it to Mom.
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead with, yeah, do it.
I've been charged with discussing the times where we had to leave people behind at the border. Yeah. The first time it happened, I was just appalled because never did we imagine we'd take a busload of people up there and somebody couldn't cross the border. Usually, when we get there, in the earlier years when we got there, the what do you call them? The agents at the border would come onto the bus and just check people's IDs and go through and be gone. And then as the later years started going through, they got more strict at the border and every person actually had to get off the bus, go inside. And while the people are inside, they're checking the bus. So a more thorough, check of everything. But I think this was actually one of our very first years. And if I'm not mistaken, I was pregnant with Max. So it was probably 2001.
I was there. I went.
And it happened to be my sister's former husband. Who's making
What's
that?
Oh, sorry, it did it.
Yeah, that's fine. Keep
It
going.
was So it was my brother-in-law at the time. He had, you know, something in his background in his record that prohibited him from being able to cross the border. And I was just like mortified. I'm like begging the border people, what can I do? I will personally guarantee him for you. I'll bring him in, I'll bring him back. And there was like
Nope.
no negotiating. So we literally had to leave him at the border. His family happened to be from Vermont, so he was able to coordinate getting his sister to come up and pick him up from there and brought him back to her house in Vermont. And then on the way home, 2 days later, we stopped and picked him back up. So that was our first experience. Unfortunately, over the 20 some years, it was not our last. It happened 3 more times. I don't know if this is the right order, but the next time it happened on the bus, somehow through a connection of somebody, we ended up with the personal chef of the band Aerosmith. And I guess he hung around with the band quite a bit and got into some trouble because when we got to the border, they wouldn't let him in either. So once again, leave him behind.
He stayed in Vermont the whole time, and we picked him up on the way back. And he said that he had a good time. That's what he told us. But
we're not too far from Burlington, so obviously we know Burlington is a fun place, as Zoe spent a few years of her time up there. The next time was, I think it was the first time this gentleman traveled with us. Well, probably all of them first and last time, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
I don't remember, but similar situation, something in the background. So, you know, if you've got any kind of record, you may be denied access to Canada. So just as a public service announcement.
Wait, that guy which guy you talking about? How about this? The man and his wife's girlfriend, or that's the one? Okay.
I don't know much about them, but it was the son gentleman that comes on our trip and had been coming for many, many years. And
exactly.
His son was denied access, so he stayed behind with his girlfriend.
They were pissed.
They were like mad at us, like it was
mad at me to run my too.
Can I just ask a question?
Yeah.
Like, isn't it on them to make sure that they can cross the border?
We say it too. I sent a message. I said, listen, make sure you're able to cross the border. Make sure you need to make sure that you don't have a felony. If you have a felony, you're not going to be able to go through. But it's within 5 years. After 5 years, you can come in. Like a DUI. If I have a DUI today, you go to Canada, you can't get in. You know what I'm saying? It's just a DUI. Stupid.
Well, is that all the times that people were left behind, or?
Well, yeah. Well, actually, the last one.
We don't actually records were unless
the last one. He was so drunk.
No, I'm not done.
Okay. That's what I was just asking.
Yeah, the last one was so drunk. He was not even on our bus. He was someone else's bus. Then Frechette. He was so drunk. He was drinking vodka straight. So he was wasted. So they didn't want him on the bus anymore. We had the duty free. And we called the cop. The cop picked him up, brought him to jail to relax. And you never wouldn't believe that. We go to the game the next day, and he's sitting with us. If somebody picked him up, somebody went to get him, and they brought him to Montreal. That guy was wasted. But that guy he was able to go through. He didn't have felony, but that was so funny.
Yeah, he just didn't go through because we didn't want him on the bus anymore.
Exactly. So that was an interesting thing. But one thing I want to talk about, and we need to talk about the first time that because we had Thursday bus, and I want you to talk about the first time you went, and because we always get the suite, and the suite we get like not the top of the top one, but we get a nice suite, big enough, like the 2 bedrooms with a living room, and that's what we're supposed to get, a big living room with two rooms at each end. You know what I'm saying? And what happened when you got there that Thursday?
So over the years, in some cases, we would have a Thursday bus go up, which was always myself, and then a Friday bus, so people could stay a day longer if they wanted to. So on that particular trip, we show up, go up to what we think is an executive suite, which is enough to host people in with two bedrooms. open up the door and like go into the hallway, and what greets me is a friggin' grand piano. I'm like, whoa, what is going on here? We had half the floor of the top of the hotel as the presidential suite. It was friggin' amazing.
I have a story. So what happened there, you went and you had the wrong room and you had to wait. I remember you called me and said, we don't have a room. They wanted to send us on the 5th floor on the first time. I remember it was like yesterday. You were calling me. All of a sudden, you called me like 2 hours later, said, I have good news. And that's what happened. You got to that room because there was issues. They made mistake on the room. I remember that because I couldn't believe it. You were there on Thursday and got that presidential suite. It was huge. At the dining room, it was everything. That was huge. I remember Max playing knee hockey in the remember in the entrance?
Yeah.
That was a heck of a party up there, man. Everybody was coming. I was telling everybody, make sure you come in their room, come hang out with us. Because we had all the beer, the stuff, the water, soda, and hang out. It was so funny the whole weekend.
It was like you could have hired a cook. We had a huge kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
The whole dining area was enough for.
We had the whole floor. We almost had the whole floor.
It was so amazing.
Our bed was a quarter of a mile from the kids. It was so big. It was fun. But that happened twice. So the second time, I mean, it's pretty much just similar that Zoe and Max get to the room and we had the wrong room again. So Zoe and Max come back downstairs. That's per Lynn because I went. And what happened, Max and Zoe said, oh my God, we have the wrong room again. And because they're so used to like have a big room. So now they're demanding more. They want more.
It's because we need all the beds, dude.
Yeah.
There's 2 beds in there. We got like 10 of us that are staying in a room. It's not gonna work out.
So we end up with that suite again. So it happened twice, and that was memorable. You know what I mean? It was, you know what? We deserve it for all the work we do, and work our ass off for that trip. You know, so like as we said a couple of weeks ago, we brought 257 people on one year. There was 200 people from Connecticut, and I had a bus from Quebec too coming, and it was amazing. And also we did so much, and it was so much fun. So, but anything else you guys want to talk about? Any ideas?
I was going to talk about the time where we had our executive suite that we're normally supposed to have.
Yeah.
And the bus driver came in the room, sat on the chair or like a footstool, broke it, and it cost us $500 from the hotel.
Oh no, that was a piece of crap. It was like worth like $50. I thought.
And the bus driver and the bus company wouldn't pay for it. I got the hotel to bring the value down to $250.
Wow. Who paid us? We paid that, right?
Hmm?
Yeah. So like that's what it is. You know what you want to do, man.
Yeah, you have people in the room, you're responsible for what they do in there, even if it's just an innocent thing.
Exactly.
Kept going.
No. All right. Now we'd like to talk about some of the fun escapades that we've had in Montreal. In the earlier years, our go-to place for like everyone on the bus was the Hard Rock Cafe. We loved that place. We would go year after year. They had a great dance floor. And then I would say probably 10 years in, the place closed down, give or take. And from there, we discovered like the best of the best. It was a place called Les Deux Pierrons. They had live bands. It was in old Montreal. There was like first floor, dance floor, band. And then it had an upstairs balcony where the whole thing was open to the band underneath and the dance floor. We had all of our best times there, and those places closed late. And after it was closed, we'd find somewhere to go have a poutine afterwards. So minimum, we would get back to the hotel at 5 o'clock in the morning, year after year. But does anybody have any stories of the Deux Pierrot they want to add?
Well, I went there once, and it was like the last year we went went there because they recently closed, unfortunately, because of COVID and all that drama. But I ended up bringing my friend Nick with me from South Windsor, a good family, like a good hockey friend of mine, and we were just ripping personal pictures of rum and coke, like big pictures of rum and coke, just walking around with this, and we were just boozing in there. So obviously, you drink that much, like you're gonna have to go to the bathroom, right? Like
Oh, yeah.
it's bound to happen. So you go to the bathroom at Deux Pierrots. This is the biggest decline in stairs I've ever seen in my life. It's pretty much straight up like this. And you're fucked up at that point. They got a railing. I feel like it was a little bit wobbly, but you're holding on to this thing for dear life and you're going one step at a time, trying to make your way to the bathroom because you're afraid you're going to eat shit. And I guarantee you, it wasn't us, but I guarantee somebody's freaking fell down those stairs before. And luckily, it wasn't me or Nick, but someone's definitely fell down those stairs because those were you looking at them, and it's like you zoom out of reality, and you're just like, "Holy crap, my life is flashing before my eyes."
That was a fun time there for sure.
Oh yeah.
Actually, so we remember the time when we were on the dance floor, me and you were dancing.
Oh yeah.
And all of a sudden I turn around because we had like a couple of high tables around there with drinks. And I come back to dance, and all of a sudden she's with some strange guy making out in the middle of the dance floor. I'm like, okay.
Well, I do have to say, like, that's where it ended, so that's good too.
Yeah, because when your mom and dad are there with you, you're coming back with us, right?
Well, I was gonna be coming back no matter what, so.
But it's funny, we'll go there every year, and the same lady and the same guy at the entrance where
Yeah.
you pay, they were there every year.
Yes.
It's like with them, every Saturday night, we'll leave the hotel around 11:30 to go to Deux Pierrots, get there, and we'll all go there and hang out. And what a place, man! And we had so much.
And we would always take a taxi back and forth because it's a little far from the hotel, except for one year for a reason that I won't explain. We left Deux Pierrots and we ran all the way back to the hotel in a snowstorm.
Oh my God, I remember that, and that's the time we had the presidential suite. I remember that. I remember that like it was yesterday. The last year I went, what's going on? They're fighting now. So by last time we went, there's a girl, a woman came, and her husband stayed at the hotel.
Really? Out of my camera.
Oh, that's so messed up. So we got to Deux Pierrots where we hang out. We came back at the hotel like at 5 a.m. because we went after the Deux Pierrots, we went to La Banquise. The Banquise is open 24 hours a day. Oh, look who's here.
Now, if he shows up in Zoe's screen, I'm going to be very concerned.
So we get back to the hotel. The dude was losing his mind. His wife was not answering her phone, and it was crazy. Dude, he's annoying. The guy was so upset. He was looking. His wife said something happened to his wife.
Oh, because she went out with us?
Yeah, she came with us. Hey, it was crazy. He was calling people. He was knocking at people's room. Is she here? Oh my God!
And flying to is like the best poutine in Montreal that we've
Yeah,
found.
it is very good place. If you go to Montreal, we suggest if you want to try poutine, that's the place to go. The best poutine in the world.
So fast forward to last year, which was our first year back to Montreal after COVID. Our go-to place is closed. So online, Dad finds a new place for us to go to.
Because I've been there before.
Electric Blue.
Not Electric Blue. Avenue. Electric Avenue, not Electric Blue.
Electric Avenue, not Electric Blue.
Exactly.
Really, boys?
You guys are annoying. Max, you're annoying.
So,
Xavier,
so there was like so you called ahead and made a reservation.
yeah, I rented like a lounge. I rented a lounge.
Right. one of those loungers so that our group could all sit together. And there was, I don't know, maybe 10 to 15 of us going.
Well, it was all my friends were there.
Yeah.
Devin, Austin, Dalton, and Nick were all there.
D couldn't get in because she was not
Dressed appropriately, yeah.
No, they didn't allow any hoodies. So
Yeah,
the
Dressed
the Foley gang couldn't get in, and lucky them, they got to go somewhere better, to be honest with you. Minimum spend in this booth. So right off the bat, you don't have a choice but to order, like, they actually bring out bottles of full alcohol.
Yeah.
We had a bottle of vodka, and I think there was another bottle.
No, just one.
Oh, we had a bottle of Absolute. A bottle of Absolute.
$50 plus the mixers.
Yeah.
So we're like, shit, we can't leave here until we finish this bottle. So Max and his crew came in, and I think you guys had one drink each, and then you got the hell out of there.
Well, dude, it was so strong. They were making the drinks for you?
No, we were making them.
Oh, dude, that drink was disgusting. It was.
Yeah, we were making them, Max.
Yeah, no, that was nasty. We swigged that one down. We saw there was like 3 people on the dance floor, and one of them was my dad.
And it was like a totally different vibe. Like, we're like, this is just like not our kind of place to hang out. But because we had this full bottle, so they left, and then a small group of other friends remained behind, so at least we could finish the drinks.
And we all did.
And Dad is out there dancing with any old people, including people that were like, get away from us. Like, we don't want to dance with you. Why are you here? So it was like really awkward. And I'm like, please, we need to get out. So I think that, Max, is where I left. Well, we all left at the same time, but we went, where's the next place we went to, Dan?
It was at Winston Churchill?
Yeah, we just went back. We went there on Friday night, and we usually have a good time there, but I mean, it kind of sucks to have to go to the same bar 2 nights in a row because we would have.
No, but I was different from you guys. Remember, I then left and met you up with your friends at another place.
No, we went to Winston Churchill.
And Winston Churchill's nice because they have 4 bars, like 3 or 4 bars. So it's if you want just like sit down and have a beer, you can, or you can go to the dance place, you know, we're gonna want to dance and stuff like that. So it's a nice fun.
I went in, I met up with Max, and you weren't there yet, Dan.
Yeah.
I met up with Max. We had, I think, a drink or so with his friends. I think Max had a migraine and wanted to get out of there.
At like 2 a.m.
Me and Max left, went back to the hotel, and we missed intercepting Dan because Dan went in there after we left. And then tell him about your exit story, Dan.
Oh my goodness. So what happened? The sidewalk, you know, you walk on the sidewalk, and I didn't see they cut like the concrete. So there was like a hole there, not like a big hole, but a hole, and there was water. It was full of water. So I don't know. I backed up because I was talking, and I backed up, and I fell right in it. So, I fell, but as soon as I fell, 4 people came and brought me up. Dude, I felt like I was like 75 years old because now there's people helping me get up. I had a little buzz. I wasn't like that drunk. I said, damn. So I got back to the hotel. I thought it was not that dirty. Oh my goodness. I had everywhere. I remember going to bed. I woke up the next day. There was still sand from the mud in bed. That was bad.
I looked at her like, what the hell happened to you?
Got my pants. I said, what? I said, tabarnak. I didn't know I was that dirty. And I remember last year when we went to the Novotel, that the Harlem Globetrotters were with us.
Yeah.
No, it was not the Harlem, it was the Generals, right? It was the other team. I
don't remember.
Yeah, they were all tall, man.
The Harlem Globetrotters.
I listened more story about famous people. Do you remember when we stayed at the Marriott back in the days? And I'll go listen. I go in the elevator, right? I said, "Oh my God, it's so Kolzig, Olaf Kolzig, the goalie for Washington Capitals." I said, "Hey, how you doing, Olaf?" So we were talking. There's a guy next to me. I said, "Hey, who are you?" I didn't know him. He said, "My name is Joe Ricky." Joe Ricky is a defenseman in the NHL, like more like David Savard. You know, that guy doesn't score goals, but very good defensively. I was so funny, and the other guy was with them was Tim Hunter. If you look at Tim Hunter on Google, that guy was a fighter, and his nose was that big. It was huge nose. So that happened many times. All the Washington Capitals were staying at the hotel. We didn't know, and that's so much fun. And I think the year after was the Blue Jackets. Remember the Columbus Blue Jackets? Yeah.
Hey, remember that time we were at the Sheridan and you recognized someone at the bar, so you sent me in to go talk to him?
Yeah. So listen to that one. So Lynn and Carol Rochelle were hanging out. All of a sudden, I looked to my not far. Oh, so that's Greg Millen, the ex-goalie for the Whalers. Played for the Whalers. So I went to Carol. I told Carol and Lynn, say, "Hey, go talk to him. Talk about that. The time he played for the Whalers." So now you know more than you and good. Carol went to him and said, "Are you Greg Millen, right?" And the guy said, "Yeah." And they said, "You play for the Whalers." And I remember he's looking at you and said, "Who told you that?"
He just knew there's no way that Carol
Yeah, it's impossible. He did play a long time. He did play long for the Whalers. But
it was
so,
fun,
kind of stuff. I like. We met so many famous people. You know.
What about last year after the game? Remember? So it was the time you was playing in
the coach
playing in like the semifinals of.
Oh
the
yeah, UConn.
Yeah, so the bar is buzzing. We have like all our group in there, and the band's playing, boom, like starting UConn chants for the whole bar. And
UConn.
Yeah, everybody's getting rowdy.
Oh, geez.
So I had to go to the bathroom at one point, so I broke off from the group. I started going to the bathroom, and I'm right at the front door. I'm like, "That's Marty St. Louis, the head coach of the Canadiens, right there." So I'm like, and he had like a few guys around him that were already like talking to him and like all over. And as a Habs fan, I don't want to be like a disrespectful fan. You know what I mean? I don't want to be the person who's like, "Oh my God, can I get a picture? Can I do this? Can I do that?" So I was just like, I saw him, like, that's cool. Like, I don't need to do anything else. So I went to the bathroom and I freaking run all the way back to Dad. I'm like, Dad, guess who's here? Guess who's here? It's Marty. Marty's here. And later on, Kent Hughes showed up, the GM. But you can continue from there, Dad, because you went to talk to him.
We'll talk about Kent Hughes first. 2 weeks before, I saw him in Boston, and I talked with him for 20 minutes with Kent Hughes. So now we'll go there, and Kent Hughes is there again. So, but the thing is, when Martin St. Louis got Max came to get me, so I looked, and he goes to the bathroom. I stopped going with him. So we're just the two of us in the bathroom. I said, "Hey, how you doing?" So I was like, "Well, we were speaking French." I said, "Yeah." He said, "You're a coach at Mid Fairfield?" I said, "Yeah." So I'm from Connecticut, and my son plays on Mascon, and I was talking about Xavier, and I talked about Max too, because Max played for the Wolfpack, and so we were chatting for like 5 minutes, taking a leak and talking about hockey, and so
Max didn't want to be that fan, but Dad has no shame.
I did it. So I got out. I said, "Can we have a picture?" He said, "Oh yeah." So Patrick Tourini and not Karen, Jim came, John Lewis came, and we took a picture of the four of us, and it was I put it on Facebook. But that guy, he was awesome. You know, Martin St. Louis was a great guy, and he's a perfect guy for the Canadian right now to coach the team. But Kent Hughes, I saw him, and I told Manon's son, Jake, played with Kent Hughes' son, and I was just all excited. So everybody, we're watching UConn, and we got the GM and the Montreal Canadiens coaches. Like, we hasn't been in the night the place we were at. It was a hole in the wall. So that's all about. I would say it happened all kinds of stuff like that, and that was awesome last year, you know. But the funny thing, I had that picture. You know what happened? My sister goes to Toronto on the train. I know it's all in Montreal. She goes on a train with my mom and her boyfriend. They go to Montreal. She has to go Toronto. She has to go to the bathroom. So she goes to Ritz Carlton, a high-end place. She goes to the bathroom, The ring, she's in the bathroom. Francois, my sister's boyfriend, sees. Oh my God, that's Martin St. Louis. Are you kidding me? So Montreal was playing in Toronto. So my sister comes out. She said, Dancy, Martin St. Louis here. So Martin was on the street walking on the sidewalk. My sister ran to him and stopped him. They took a picture and they sent me. That was a week after the trip.
Is that funny? All girls.
So it was involved with the Martin St. Louis.
Does anyone have any other stories they'd like to share? I feel like that might be a good one to end on.
Yeah, I think our time.
There's more, obviously, but you don't want to talk about everything. But you know what? The great stories, all the memories like we talked about, we had. It's, you know what? We can't stop that trip. It's why it's always coming, you know.
I can't wait to spend it with our whole family. We haven't all been together in probably 2 years.
Yeah,
It was the Thanksgiving of not last year, but the year before, a year and a half.
Yeah. So,
but the thing that makes Montreal so much fun is just how unpredictable it can be. And I feel like that's one of the main reasons why we always find ourselves going back. I mean, obviously we love the Canadians, but like if we didn't love the city, you wouldn't go this many times. You know what I mean? So
agreed.
I've always loved going. It's a lot more fun when you're over 18 for sure. It's a different kind of weekend, but I'm sure I can speak for everyone when this is like something we look forward to like every single year. And I mean, like Dad said, Zoe wouldn't be flying here if she didn't love going on this trip. You know what I mean? So
true. I know it's amazing. That I'm so glad that you're coming, you know, and Johnny, and it's fun. We got people from Montana coming. We have people flying from Texas to go to the trip. That's the second year. I can't believe they're coming again. Great people. So can't ask any better, you know. Besides, hey, don't forget that guy who drank Zambuca at the duty free. That was awesome too.
Well, thank you everyone for. May I?
Yes. Go ahead.
Thank you everyone for listening into podcast number 9. Montreal's 4 short weeks away, so we're really looking forward to it. I hope you have a great week, and tune in next week for episode number 10.
Love you guys. Bye, Xavier. You can hear you.
That's fine.
Bye.
Love you.
Bye.
You guys.
Bye.